everybody wants a shortcut, right?
Right.
In your business, everyone wants a short. Yeah. So, but just it's so much more satisfying and gratifying when you do it the right way.
Right.
But hard work is hard work. If you look at the word, yeah. So a hard part, if you look at these shortcuts in anything, there's always a side effect, yeah. So if you look at Ozempic, you lose weight, but then did you see the list of side effects?
No.
Bleeding out of your eyes or whatever, suicide. You know, it's
Wow.
like, yeah, so you could lose weight, but then again, the whole thing with weight loss is if you do it quick, you've never changed your lifestyle.
Right.
So usually when you work for something, then you can, like if you build a house, it's a labor of love, yeah? And you said, if somebody built a house for you, you don't value it the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? When getting there and getting dirty, I think that's the same analogy. So when you've done the weight loss journey and you've had good days and bad days, this whole journey creates character, and then you own it, right?
Hey, what's up, gang? Welcome to Puka Pockets, my new show. I'm your host, Fuzzy Jardine. If you're local, pay attention and watch this show, because I'm going to bring it all off.
Yes, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Puka Pockets podcast, and welcome to the show. Mahalo for watching. My guest is bomb today. Brother man is from Everyday Better. He has been posting and motivating people, inspiring people since, I think, probably since he was, could talk. And then, I started noticing him right before COVID. He's posting stuff on social media. His name is Brother Eric Yamashita. What's up, brother?
I'm honored to be here, brother.
Thanks
for having
coming
me
on the show. Yeah. So I just wanted to bring you on because, I feel like what you're doing for our community is a huge thing, because sometimes people, deal with certain stresses or they're down. But when I see, the post, like, because you post every day.
Yeah.
And they can go to your Instagram page or, your website and just get inspired, or, listen to what you say, or even go back further and watch what you said, in prior. So I appreciate you coming on board and, wanted to share your story.
Thanks. Yeah. It's exciting. You want me to talk about the story, or
kind of like, share like your background, where you're from, how that, where you grew up.
Okay.
And then going into, whatever story you wanted to talk about, like that is memorable, that, can inspire other people here on our audience.
Yeah. Grew up in Waipahu.
Nice.
My dad is Japanese Chinese from Kalihi, and my mom is Haole from Long Island, New York.
Wow.
So my mom got her bachelor's degree and came to Hawaii to get her master's. Her brother was living here, Merchant Marine, and went to UH and went to the beach and saw this local guy, and he saw the Haole girl, and that was it. 4 half-breed kids later, yeah, my mom never left, and so my dad was a police officer. He was in law enforcement for 52 years. We settled in Waipahu, 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls. I went to Hawaii Baptist Academy, so I was fortunate that my dad and mom really scraped to get us into, they really wanted to put us in a private school, in a Christian school, so I was blessed to go there. I never appreciated it when I was there. I always wanted to go public school because I thought that's where the locals go, and I went to private school. But as I get older now, I'm 57, I really appreciate all the sacrifice they did to get me into that school. I have 1 son. I sent it to HBA.
Nice.
I don't think he appreciated it, but now he slowly is appreciating it. My mom loves telling the story. I've done 23 jobs in my life.
Wow.
The one that stuck the longest was personal training. So I've been personal training since 1992. So 32 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a wonderful job. I mean, it's something that I love. I was a competitive bodybuilder before, and I've always wanted to help people. And I have the gift of gab, so I can voila out.
There you go.
So you put fitness and being able to talk to people
Right.
together. It was just a marriage made in heaven. So
Nice.
I've been doing that since 1992.
So you started lifting weights, early on in school, or you met friends that lift weights, or probably your dad then, right?
Yeah, my dad stayed in shape. He was a police officer. He was always in shape. They played, sports and everything. But I was a small guy. I was soaking wet, 95 pounds in high school. So I thought, I'm probably not going to get bigger. And of course, all the police officers' sons went Kamehameha. They went, they went Punahou. They went why not? Like that. And they was all rugged. And I always felt like, my dad not going to be proud of me because I'm a small guy. After I graduated, I stayed here. I went to Leary Community College, and they had a place called the Spa Fitness.
Okay,
Went up to join over there, and I hung out over there. And the guy's like, "Oh, you like this?" I said, yeah. So I got a job in '85. So since '85, I've been involved in the fitness industry. So going to college and working at a gym, that's like a dream job. Work at the front desk. So basically, I was at the gym all the time. And I just started training in 85, and ever since then, I had just had a love. I thought, if I'm not gonna get taller, I'm gonna get bigger.
Right.
And plus, when you're like 19, the only reason I did this for the chicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you want to look good, So it's like, I was never a car guy. Everybody put their money in the cars. I thought, once you get out of the car, you still get the body.
Yeah.
You want to go Sandy Beach, take off your shirt. And so that's where I think it started. Me just working out and realized that something I could control. It wasn't a team sport. It was an individual sport. I enjoyed watching my body develop. And I just like being in the gym. It was just a positive environment for me. Through college, that's where I was all the time. And that eventually turned into a career.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's killers. I mean, there's a lot of, like, where do you see that industry going nowadays with all this social media, AI, and I see, these things like YouTube where you can go and watch. Do you do stuff like that? Or like, how do you, what's the, someone wanted to train with you or hire you? I mean,
well, I'm a personal trainer, and if you break apart the word, it's personal, yeah? So the part I like the most is the personal interaction, like how we're talking, the impact with people. The sad thing about technology is it makes us more impersonal. So like during the pandemic, for a great example, it seemed like it was very divisive and spread everybody apart, and we lost that social interaction.
Right.
To me, Hawaii is always surrounded around family and food and gathering together, and we couldn't do that anymore. So it was a terrible time, which is kind of how I started my brand. But with personal training, I don't really do the Zoom stuff like that because I like to look you in the face and be able to like show you in person. I think
like that.
We've lost that whole personal connection with AI is fake. I mean, not that it's not a good thing, but it's not personal. And with all these Zoom meetings, like, oh, you don't have a meeting anymore, just FaceTime me. Right. I'd rather shake your hand and look you in the face. And I'm that kind of old school guy who likes that connection. So I will forever be that trainer, which is one-on-one.
I like
and
that.
And I'm not a real techie guy.
Right.
So I'm probably the least techie person with my iPhone 10 and my terrible videos. But I'm more worried about, I'm more concerned about content and impacting people than having a super glitzy, cool thing. And I think that's where things are built, is one-on-one.
Right.
Yeah.
So, talk about your family, like your dad, your mom. You had siblings too, right? Your brother, you were saying?
Yeah. So there's four of us.
Okay.
I'm the oldest, so I graduated in '84. Then I have a sister right under me. She's 86 grad, and she's married with 3 kids and 4 grandchildren.
Wow.
And then my brother is a 90 grad. He was amazing. He just passed away 6 months ago.
Sorry about
Cancer, 51. So he lived a great life. Just touched lots and lots of people, and I miss him every day, but I know he's in heaven. He has a wife and 3 kids, and my baby sister's in Spokane. She has 4 kids. So 4 kids, local father, haole mom, grew up in Waipahu. My parents were always there for us. So we were very fortunate because my parents always made time for us, whatever activities we had. My dad worked a lot. My mom was the teacher, but when we were all going to school, she worked less and less so she could be with us. So all the stuff I didn't really understand back in the day, my mom was like the only haole lady in the neighborhood. So she would bake and cook stuff, and all I wanted to eat was, top ramen, but my mom would cook everything. And now I realized that they cooked healthy for us, and we had meals together, and my mom spent a lot of time. When you get older, you like home cooking, yeah?
Right.
When you're young, you don't want that.
Right.
So now that I'm a father and I'm married and stuff like that, I really appreciate the time that my parents spent with us. Not the money, was more just being present. So all the activities we did, whether it was like school or sports or church, they spent a lot of time with us. And now my dad is gone and my brother's gone, so I miss that. But we have a strong family still yet.
Right. So, the school that you went to, I mean, how was, like, now that you're, a little bit older, you keep in touch with any of the your classmates and stuff and see where everybody's at? Not
really. So this is 2024. It's my 40th reunion. So I don't even think we're having a reunion. We had a small class, 71 students.
Oh, wow.
Small private school. Hawaii Baptist Academy. We always call it Hawaii's best Asians because there was plenty of Asians. Luckily, I'm kind of in the middle, but I went there and I got a good education, but I never really connected with everybody. I was more connected with my neighborhood and people at the church.
Okay.
So school was good. I keep in touch with a couple people. My son went to the school. He just graduated a couple years ago. So I'm involved in the alumni stuff, and we have a couple scholarships in my dad and my brother's names. So I'm giving back because as I'm older, I realize what they gave to me, and I want to continue my brother and my dad's legacy. They were very philanthropic. They gave a lot. They volunteered a lot. So that's my way of honoring them, is giving back to people with nonprofits or the school. And this, I think we don't put as much pressure on education. Education is very important. 4 of us kids were going at the same time. I was telling my dad, "You sold drugs, or what? Because how could we afford that?" But
Right.
they prayed and they scraped and they made things work. So now, because we had some financial aid when I was younger, I'm in the opportunity. I have the opportunity to give back a little. So I'm trying to help kids that need some financial aid.
Yeah, I mean, what you've been doing, like posting on social media, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that you've impacted, sponsors that help help you with what your mission is to help give back, like scholarships
Right.
to the students at the school that you went to. And do you go and talk to the school once in a while, or not yet?
Yeah, I was grateful. The Billy Luder Takaki he's in charge of the advancement for the school. So he asked me to speak to the class of 2023 last year.
Nice.
So here I am. You never think I didn't really love the school, and I got to speak to the senior class before they graduated. So
Wow.
it was heavy, because that's very impactful. These kids are going to start their new career in college like that, and they wanted me to share my ideas about living every day better. So I wrote all these things and I wrote this long speech, and then I said, forget it. I'm just going to go there and talk from my heart. And it just kind of came out. My people, I say I have verbal diarrhea, and then I just kind of took a deep breath, and I just explained, how I feel, and giving them some advice. I try not to tell kids what to do, but I just kind of shared some of my experiences and where I'm from. Did they all connect? It was really quiet in the beginning, which is tough when you're talking to kids, right? When I talk to adults, they're all like, yeah. But at the end, they started warming up, and I just tried to give them hope and positivity. And with my brand, it's not about being perfect. It's about trying to be incrementally a little bit better every day. And I think they got it at the end. So
Yeah, man, that's killers, yeah. And that's something I want to do. I did the little bit curvy path. It seems like you did more of a straight path, How did you? Did you get into a little bit of trouble growing up, or?
yeah, so my dad was a police officer, and then he was a pastor. So I think my dad knew what I was doing. I wasn't breaking the law, but I was kind of living my own life, right? Because I grew up in the church, so I thought I knew better. So I was doing all the rotten stuff. I never broke the law, but I was just kind of living my life. Never got married till I was like 38. So with bodybuilding, I traveled all over the United States. So I traveled all the time. I worked for the Hyatt at the time, so we got free rooms. So yeah, I had plenty of fun. Got into Kolohe, got into trouble like that, but I think I got everything out of my system before I settled down. And I think that's kind of how experiences what make you a better person, right?
Yeah.
You can learn, or you can just keep doing the same thing. So I built my character and gave me life experience, and yeah, it was good.
Wow, man. So, I want to try and talk to you about, since you're in the, fitness industry, you got these doctors now. They got, I don't know, you can go to the doctors. They got these pills and stuff that people take, and then they go from 250 down to 150,
Ozempic.
Yeah. You know anything about?
Yeah. So, everybody wants a shortcut, right?
Right.
In your business, everyone wants a shortcut. Yeah. So, but just, it's so much more satisfying and gratifying when you do it the right way.
Right.
But hard work is hard work. If you look at the word, yeah. So it's, when I train with clients, like I said, I try to get to meet them. They come in, I give them a free session because I want to get to know the person. I could be greedy and just take your money, but if you're not going to commit or connect with me and understand what I do, because it's like going to a hairdresser. You got to be with that person for an hour or so. If we don't get along or connect, you're never going to take my advice.
Right.
I try to tell my son all the time, respect should be earned. It's not automatic, So with that kind of stuff, I think a hard part, if you look at these shortcuts in anything, there's always a side effect, yeah. So if you look at Ozempic, you lose weight, but then did you see the list of side effects?
No.
Bleeding out of your eyes or whatever, suicide. It's
Wow.
so you could lose weight, but then again, the whole thing with weight loss is if you do it quick, you've never changed your lifestyle.
Right.
So usually when you work for something, then you can, if you build a house, it's a labor of love, yeah? And you said, if somebody built a house for you, you don't value it the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then getting there and getting dirty, I think that's the same analogy. So when you've done the weight loss journey and you've had good days and bad days, this whole journey creates character, and then you own it, right?
Right.
If you take the pill and you lose 20 pounds in a matter of months, you just paid for it.
Right.
But the part that the media gives you is this weight loss.
Right.
But this never changed, yeah?
No.
So everything starts here, and you know that.
Still eat the same.
Right.
Still don't work out. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. Because I'm not sure if, I got some family members that, was going into that. I know my mom did the band around, which helped.
Right.
And she she had it in her tummy for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she released, they took it out because I guess she was starting to regurgitate,
Right.
or get, start, like, I don't know, puking,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they cut it out, and she, of course, felt better. But, like you said, same mentality, just not, taking care of themselves and just eating, not exercising. So they just go right back to where she, left off.
Yeah.
And then, now she's thinking of trying to get the ban again, which is, us local people, we love to eat, right?
Yeah, it's hard because food is really medicine. Yeah? I mean, I think the analogy I always tell my clients is you could be worth $10 million or $10, and a spam musubi tastes the same,
Yeah.
right? So if you're rich or poor, a spam musubi and a Hawaiian san, that burger is winner.
Yeah.
It's just so satisfying. You don't think about the nitrates or how bad it's for your system, but as far as your mouth feel, well, I think tastes ono. And later on, you can think about it, but food is something universal. Rich,
Right.
poor, we enjoy food. You know what I mean? So it's hard because we connect food with happiness or sadness.
Right.
When we're depressed, we eat too much too. I'm not like that, but a lot of people are. And the truth is, people will let us down all the time. Okay? But food never lets us down.
Right.
Right? Right? It's always the same.
It's real.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. When you come home and you're hungry, for me, I always crave salt or sugar. Salty chips or something sweet. I don't crave like broccoli. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. After work, you want to suck them up. You want to poo-poos. It's always, the poo-poos always salty. Poke with, beer or whatever like that. So our initial response is to get something like that, and it makes us feel good for a moment. And I talk about this all the time is, how often in your life do you have peace or happiness?
Oh, and I'm in the ocean, but
Yeah.
not a lot, right?
Yeah. But that's awesome. But a lot of
Yeah.
people don't have any peace or any happiness. So for that moment, food is peace and happiness.
Right.
And if done repeatedly over and over again, they keep medicating themselves with food. It's the worst drug.
Right.
And then it ends up being unhealthy. And they don't think about it that way. But for that moment, it brings happiness.
Right.
And discipline is hard. Like any
It
job,
is.
discipline is hard. Putting in the work. I say, hey, go build me in a house. I don't know how. You know how. But it takes steps, right?
Right.
Yeah. And without a plan, like a fitness plan or a building house plan, it falls apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I love what you're saying. It's not a micro. Everybody wants a microwave effect. Like
Yeah.
in my business, right? As far as building homes, I never just learned like that.
Yeah.
I had to go get a mentor
Yeah.
or somebody that was building. I had coaches that taught me, the steps, right? And instead of going at it on my own, I was wanting to. Teachers or coaches has always been part of my life. And man, the mentorship definitely took me from where I was at to where I'm at today, and the analogies that you come up with on a daily basis is just insane. So that helps people realize, oh yeah, hello, I should listen to these guys, or do things correctly instead of just buying that pill. And
It's hard. Like for me, I always tell people like they thank me for buying the shirt and they thank me for doing the thought of the day or verse of the day or question of the day. But I try to tell them in an unselfish way because I don't feel like I'm a selfish person at all. I deny myself a lot. But I'm doing it for myself. Like I won't post a video of a thought that doesn't resonate with me
right,
just to be cool. Like a lot of people will do stuff on Instagram to be cool.
right,
Like I have a Honda that I own.
Me too.
Yeah, I know more on fancy car. Can I afford a fancy car? Probably.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter to me. Those things don't value. So I'm not going to show off, oh, look my hair. Look how tall I am. I know I'm not tall. I know I'm bald. I drive a Honda. But I'm going to be real. So my videos, I could have red eyes and Makapia PMI. But the thought of the day is something that really was in my heart.
Right.
And people, and I realize that it impacts people because we're human, yeah?
Right.
At the base level, we all kind of feel the same. We all have joy and we have a lot of sadness and we have disappointment, and we have loss, So I think Instagram and I say the media is so easy to be divisive.
right,
We come from different walks of life,
Right.
but I'm trying to find ways of connecting, right? Look at it. We never met before and we're connecting here on this place. We have a platform sharing good stuff.
Right.
So instead of being divisive, I started every day better to find ways to connect with people. We can find a million ways to be apart, or you can find ways that we're common ground, right?
right.
And that's what I try to tell you with the thought of the day is just something on the top of my head. I never say that I made it up. People are like, oh, bro, you said you made it. I never said I made that quote. I just saw it or I thought of it and I
Right.
put it on a video and I realized writing the quote down was one thing. If you saw it, you might not pay attention.
Remember
But the
it, yeah.
fact that this bullhead guy with red eyes is saying something, it's more impactful because it's from my heart. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I think people, we miss that human level. It becomes so sanitized with that
Yeah.
pandemic and just like, yeah, it's
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the pandemic kind of like helped get me a little bit, push me even more, because I was watching more people that's in my industry, in the real estate industry. I watched this Tita from Maui, Zasha Smith, and I was like, man, these girls, like her and another friend, Ted Eva, who we signed up in the same program, and I just seen their, trajectory of going from like zero to like multimillionaires and staying humble, right? And then helping out the community, like renting out, these homes. So, like I think mentorships and coachings and like your personal trainer on that end. So I feel like I've been doing a lot of stuff for other people, like yourself, like giving, but then sometimes, we forget to take care of our own selves. So I got a little scared, I think it was like maybe about a month or so ago, like at night, like before I went to bed, I was like, I couldn't even breathe. Like, oh my goodness, like what the, like
pressure on your chest,
tripping out. And we called the nurse, and then, I just kind of like calmed down. I took the what my wife had this like that whatever that thing.
Albuterol or whatever, yeah.
And then it kind of went away, and then a couple weeks went by, it happened again. I was like, I got scared, and I was thinking, and I'm high blood pressure, normal, because I don't know if it's the Portuguese blood or it's just because I'm taking on a lot of projects.
Right. Yeah.
And so I went to Kaiser. Everything's all cherry, right? After all the tests, no clogged arteries, but I get high cholesterol. And I think what it is not exercising or getting in the ocean like I used to.
Yep.
So I think I need to get my my act together and start getting more active so I can stay here longer for our audiences.
I have to be reminded that you can't pour from an empty cup. Yeah. I'm like, I give, and I try to take care of everybody, but you have wife, kids, family, you have people that depend on you. And even more than that, and it's weird because I don't think you or me have grown up in an environment where we're selfish. I think the base of the aloha and local people is unselfish. Yeah. You have a lot of people who are selfish, but the most time, if you really meet people in the communities at that level, they're unselfish. They're giving. They're going to take care of their neighbor. They're going to give you the shirt off their back. They're going to give you a plate like that. So I think when we do that, it's also can be detrimental to our health because we give so much, we have nothing left. It's hard because if I say, I'm going to take a day off for myself, but you selfish, huh? But if you're surrounded by people who will check you, but will support you at the same time, they go, hey, brother, good for you. My wife knows, my son knows that sometimes I got to take care of me, myself, so I can be a better husband, I can be a better son, a better brother, better father, better friend. You know what I mean? Like, I tell guys all the time, and it's not a macho thing, but I love you, bro. Yeah. And guys like, but now, like Brooks, I've been telling him I love you, bro, for like 4 or 5 years before I even met the guy. Right. And he said sometimes in the darkest times of his life, that was made a difference. I'm not trying to say I'm the guy, but because I give so much, sometimes I feel burnt out because I'm not getting anything back. And I don't do it to get reciprocation. But if you surround yourself with the right people, they're gonna check you and they're gonna love you at the same time.
Yeah. So going. We met. I think I started seeing a lot of stuff with you and Brooks. You guys good friends, and Brooks came into my my life. I spoke at an event out in Kapolei, and he came up to me, hey brother, I learn what you're doing. So it's kind of how we connected. And he's such a big aloha brother. So, and then I think he has a podcast too.
I'm waiting for it to get on his.
I'm waiting for your podcast. I think you would. Is that something you're thinking of doing?
Yeah, I have so many things going on right now with my training is really busy, and then the clothing line is busy. Taking care of my mom and my family. My son just got into HPD, so that's one less thing I have to worry about.
Congratulations!
Yeah, I'm really stoked. I'm really proud of him. But I'm starting a nonprofit, and starting a podcast. So I have to sit back and have to delegate my time properly. Because the nonprofit it sounds really, really cool. But if you really get into it, it can be a great vehicle, or it can be a vehicle that you can hide your money in. I mean, there's sadly, there's a lot of people that do nonprofits for the wrong reason.
Surround yourself with people that can help run the nonprofit.
I want to do it to help. A lot of people do a nonprofit to hide their money or spread their money or to hire their family, which is, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I want to do it with all the right reasons. So I don't want to jump into it too fast. And the podcast, I mean, I have no problem talking. I just have to figure out a venue. So I think by summer I'm going to have something going because I want to be able to be like you and be able to give people a platform to share.
Right.
And really, instead of just saying it, really support local businesses. And I think
Mm-hmm.
we all grow and network together, and then we can all win, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then, we know, like, Hawaii's super, I keep saying this pretty much on every podcast. We know Hawaii is expensive, and it's our choice what we do every day to stay here, right? Because we see a lot of our family and friends move away. I want to hear your take on that. Like, what have you done? I know you've been personal trainer for years, and I think personal trainers is super important, and it's a good career.
Yeah.
Your take on, like Hawaii, like when our family and friends move away, we start seeing, the aloha leave.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Yeah. At the age I'm at, 57, there's a lot of people on my level who are retiring already. But I was just talking to somebody the other day. When I was young, I always thought the parent age was 45.
Right.
How old are you?
I'm 46.
Yeah, so you're the parent age.
Yeah.
But, now I'm 57, and then things where you just think, and I was talking to my son, he just started working, so he can literally retire from HPD at 44 because he started early. But technically, before you work 25 years and you're out there 30 years or whatever. So I was explaining to him, like, so you start at maybe 25 after college and you work 30 years, 55 is the retirement age. That was 2 years ago for me. Could I retire? Maybe, maybe not. But most of the people can't. Right. So the sad thing is we have to work till we're 70. I have the luxury of training people that have time and money. Right. So, but people say, "Oh, lucky!" But I'm doing it 32 years. They don't see, they don't see all the stuff, like the iceberg. Right? They don't see all the stuff that I've been working on for the first 15 years when I was struggling. Right. When I started the business in '92, and then I went full time in year 2000, and I was stressed out all the time. I had tons of clients, but I had to really work hard, and I was like, running a business is not easy. Because if people stop training, it's not like you're getting regular income. You can't just, like for me, if I take a vacation, I don't get paid. Yeah. I still have to pay my rent and stuff like that. So I think for me, I enjoy the people part because I'm networking with people and helping people be healthy. But I think it sounds weird because people will sacrifice their health to work hard to take care of their family. When they do that, their health suffers and they have a heart attack and the family is stuck. So there's no way that the family can stay here. Connected to, just staying here. So I think people have to make sure that they're a little bit selfish and take care of their health. Maybe 20%. Because a lot of people are successful monetarily wise, but they're anxious and they're physically burnt out and they're not healthy. And in the end, like if you have a heart attack and die, what's going to happen to your family?
Oh, yeah. They'll be sad because I have, I've set myself, I've got to a point where, I get whole life policies.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
We've got a bunch of, rentals that's coming in that can replace. But that's
not the norm, though.
But it's time in, right?
Yeah.
I've learned from, the people that's been in this business to create generational wealth and set, when I do leave, my family's set. But not, that's the thing, it's not normal, right?
What school did you go to?
They don't teach that in school, right? Financial education.
Yeah. What high school did you go to?
So I went to all over.
So
I went to Kaiser High School, Waikiki High School, back to Kaiser, Kailua, Kaleo, back to Kailua, graduate Kailua High School.
Because my point is, if you think about, let's say your class or whatever you graduate, the class of people, let's say there was 200 people. How many people? You're probably at the top 5% of being set. Not money given to you, but because there's money, like whatever I have now, I earn myself. I have friends that went HBA, their parents gave them everything.
Right.
So they're more entitled and enabled than I am. It's not saying it's a wrong thing, but you and me probably didn't come from money.
Never come from money.
Yeah. So everything we have, we earned.
Right.
And it's a different level of satisfaction and validation and expectations. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that most people aren't at the situation we are. If I pass, you pass, my family will be fine. Right. Most people wouldn't. Yeah. They're living paycheck to paycheck in Hawaii, which is sad.
It is sad.
Yeah.
What you think, financial education, I think, we should see the schools, I think it starts there. Home too, right? At home, a lot of our parents or grandparents was just blue collar, right? They go work for somebody, and that's their mentality. Go work for a corporate, go school, get educated. Some of them, like my grandparents never went, they didn't even graduate from school. They just straight to work.
Yeah.
And then grandma stayed home, take care of the kids. Papa was always working.
Yeah.
And then my mom, that generation was, she was always working,
Yeah.
not 2, 3 jobs, just
Yeah.
to keep us clothed and fed, along with my stepdad. But it's like our schools, like public schools, really, or schools in general. I don't know if your school taught like on curriculum on how to start one business or how to write checks or stuff like that. I think that's a need, in our schools.
There's no money in it. That's why you got to follow the money, right?
Right.
So not to get a deep, but the government doesn't want to do
Right.
that. They
They're
don't want to
geared
support small
for us
business.
I think for work, right? They
Well, like
just-
my son says, the government wants you to suck on their teeth. They want to enable everybody to just to just barely get, especially with the pandemic. I'm not gonna get too deep, but just to barely get by, and then
Right.
give that $600 every month and be so grateful for that instead of giving us. So it's like the whole giving you a fish or teaching you how to fish, right?
Right.
I talked with all my clients who are in their 60s and 70s had home ec. My client went McKinley, so you either went ROTC or you did sports, and they had home ec. So they had auto shop. Think about if we had auto shop, if we had trades,
Yeah.
if we had like. Plenty these kids they don't know how to cook. They don't know what
Right.
driver's ed. They don't. And I was talking to my client. The son doesn't want to get his license. Why should he? Because he can Uber. Or the mom takes him everywhere. When I was 14, I couldn't wait to drive. Standard shift. You know what I
Right.
mean? But it's a different generation because we've enabled our kids. And I tried hard not to spoil my son, but it starts in the school, right? And that's where everything is the foundational stuff, right? So you could have home ec, trades, financial literacy. These kids don't know how to write a check because nobody writes checks anymore.
No.
But they don't
So
know, they don't know how to
cards.
balance. Yeah, just card because mom keeps paying off. But you're right. If we started at 10th grade and made it mandatory,
Right.
but otherwise you're enabling it, I think that's big corporation doesn't want that.
Right. And that's something I'm working on. Right. I'm gonna start creating videos just and give them out free for the students that's coming out of school. Maybe start in the 11th and then 12th grade before they go, get out and go into either college or start their career. But I think, trades, becoming a tradesman, plumber, electrician, like becoming a fitness trainer too is I think is a good career,
Yeah, I mean it's like people will respect a plumber more than a trainer because the thing is like a plumber you need, a trainer you don't necessarily need. So I'm kind of a more niche market, but I love what I do, and there's enough people that. So there's certain jobs I think that people really respect, and I think the times have changed. People used to respect teachers and police and plumber. Now everybody wants to be a TikTok star. Nobody wants to work.
Yeah, right.
But as far as trainer, I mean, the truth is, if everybody was disciplined, I'd be out of a job. I'd be asking you, did you want fries with that, sir? Can I get you more water? And that's okay because I've done those kind of jobs before. Fortunately for me, I love what I do, and I can help people because people are because technology has advanced so much. People do less and less work and still make money and eat worse, which provides me with a lot of opportunity to train people.
Right. You do meal plans too for your
I
clients?
do. Yeah. I don't like the word diet because nobody wants to be on a diet because we're always constantly on a diet. But I just help modify their food intake. Yeah, because I think people by nature we're lazy and selfish. That's the truth. Yeah. So you're gonna find. I try to. You probably say surround yourself around people who are a little bit more motivated and focused like that. You cannot be like They always say this, and it's very important. Like I want to be in a room with people that are smarter. I used to be intimidated before, but like with real estate, I don't know nothing.
Right.
So like you could teach me a wealth of stuff, and I could probably teach you about trading. But that's how we can become friends. We can teach each other stuff that we know, and then we become homogenized and better with everything. Right. But if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're probably in the wrong room.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think kids nowadays, they think they know everything. So that's why my clients are older, because everybody under 30, they grew up in this TikTok, Instagram, internet generation where everything's accessible on YouTube. Why should I have to physically do it because I can see it or I can pay someone? Why do I drive? Just get Uber. I don't need to get up because the food will be delivered to me.
Uber Eats now.
Yeah, everybody does everything for me. Yeah, you can hire. Everything's on an app, so nobody physically will talk to anybody, communicate. We lost this whole way of connecting with people.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I love going to, like when I have events. I like going to events not necessarily to sell product, but to shake people's hands and go.
Yeah.
And they oh, thanks for the video, but just to meet people face to face. Hey, nice to meet you, brother. Oh, Fuzzy, I see you all the time. I feel like I know you, but now we get to
Right.
So I just think that's that connection we've
Yeah,
lost.
no, I get that. When I'm traveling and I at the store, at the airport, hey, I follow you. It's like, hey, right on, good to meet you. I mean, I try to reach out and just tell them, like, hey, shake the hand. Yeah. It's good, and I tell them, hey, anytime I can help or any questions you have, don't hesitate to reach out.
Isn't that validating to you, though?
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that because you're not trying to be a superstar.
Nope.
But the fact that you're trying to put out and it's hard because intentions are perceived differently. Your intentions are to help people. I can hear that through your voice. You want to take care of your family, and you want to do good, but you want to help people. And mine is the same. So when someone says thank you for doing that, it's not being cocky. That's the reason I do it. So that someone say, hey brother, I love your content, I appreciate you. As human natures, we need validation.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm pretty self-motivated. You probably are too. I don't need people patting me on the back, but it's nice sometimes.
Yeah.
Because we're humans. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, where can where's your gym, or how people, I know Everyday Better, right?
Yeah.
There's a website that they can contact you. Do you have a gym? You know, where's that? Or
So I have a private studio at Allah United Way building. So it's on Vineyard and Allah. It's Allah United Way building. I'm on the second floor. It's appointment only. So it's 1,000 square feet, but it's all appointment only. So I mean, you can hit me up on Instagram, or I have a website. EricYamashita.com is my personal training website. EverydayBetterHawaii.com is the clothing line. So I run both of those out of that office. But
and you do all the content yourself? You edit, or you go on team behind?
No,
that,
I just you can tell my videos. They're pretty.
No,
there's not much
good,
editing.
but you know.
Yeah, I shoot the little videos by the window in my studio with my old iPhone.
Right.
I don't even know how to edit or put stuff on. Yeah, because I mean, to me, the value is in what I'm saying and the content, and not the slick stuff. Because I know a lot of people do a lot of slick stuff and they put something fancy, but there's no meaning. And I'm not saying mine means more, but I think I'm just gonna put stuff that connects and resonates with people every day, bring value, and whatever's going on in my life, I'm gonna share.
Right.
And fortunately, we're very similar. You know, very similar in our lives, and then the emotions are similar at different levels. We all cry, and we all laugh, and we're too macho or not macho enough, or we're selfish or we're too giving, like that. So when I talk about that, it hits people in a different way, and everybody gets something from it. You know, like if you taste something, you might like something, I like something, but if you just put stuff out there that's positive, people can pick and choose whatever they want. And I think with Instagram and internet, it's so amazing that we can connect. But if you look at a lot of the local stuff, and even national, I've had people tell me that sex sells, food sells, violence sells. Nobody wants to talk about, hey, you know, Fuzzy helped a lady across the street the other day.
Right.
That doesn't make news, but it happens all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So my whole thing is, I'm just a small guy with a small little page, but if I can make an impact and just share a little bit more positivity, or something that people can or start a community or start a dialogue, then that's my thing, you know.
Yeah,
you know.
I know you've impacted a bunch of people, and all your followers is just organic, you know, like you're saying, not paid, right? And we could easily pay for 1 million followers or whatever it is, but you know, you and I think we grinded, you know, to get where we're at today. And you know, I believe, you know, we're similar. Like we want to help our local community, which is huge. And I think we definitely need more people like you and I out there that can you know, inspire other people who is on the sideline, like, man, or too timid or afraid, you know, to take action.
That's my thing is, a lot of people talk, and I have nothing wrong with talking, but if there's no action, and I think change always starts with me first, So I cannot tell you, hey, Fuzzy, you got to do this until I do it for myself. So like if I'm going to say, hey, you should help Maui out, I better be helping Maui out first. And I was talking to my wife about this, like it's easy for, and nothing against a big corporation, to write a $10,000 check when they're worth billions. Because they got a pat on the back and a tax write-off. But if you and me are helping people and not taking a picture of it, we're doing it for the right reasons, So it's easy to kind of want, like, oh, I want to take a picture so everybody knows I did that. But is that the real reason I'm doing it? You know what I mean? So, and I know you and me, similar. We probably unselfishly give to a lot of people and get no return, but that's okay. Because if you give out to 20 people and 1 or 2 people are impacted, that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, for the past 11 years, you know, my mission was, I just knew how expensive it is to, you know, purchase homes or find a home, you know, especially here on Oahu. So I kind of grew up, you know, on Oahu with my mom and then with my grandparents on the Big Island. So, you know, like Puna, like from Hilo to Volcano, there's a lot of, you know, of affordable pieces of property that is already subdivided. It's not this huge properties where you come in and, you know, build these big developments. So they're already subdivided. So I knew that these areas, just because I grew up in the area, and I knew it was still affordable, and still today, you know. And I knew when I started my real estate journey where I needed to go. And it's a blessing that I was able to learn from coaches, and then, you know, um, meet up with this developer that was local, born and raised from Paneva, and learn some skills from him, and started building homes and then putting local families in these houses. So I'm, blessed to do that for our community. So
Well, you can sleep at night, right?
yeah, I mean, I can sleep
I
at
always tell
night
people,
now.
can you look at yourself in the mirror? No, I mean, like, because you could easily do this and sell it to the highest,
Right.
sell it to outside investors, right? Chinese, whatever like that. And no, and it's not, you're not doing anything wrong, but then your heart is in a different
Well,
place,
I
right?
get like there's a few that never went to local families because at the time I sometimes we borrow money from higher interest payment, higher interest banks like hard money and private money. So we have like a timeline.
Right, yeah,
If it's
yeah.
not like I can only stretch so much of my own money, which goes directly. Every time I make money, I'm always putting money back into the
Correct,
business
yeah.
so I can keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But the hard money and the private money comes with the hourglass.
Yeah.
And if at that time the local families cannot afford, whoever's next in line will get the house. But it's
Right.
going to a family that is going to love the house.
Yeah.
But I always give my locals the first crack.
Yeah, and that's how, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot because a lot of people don't do that. I mean, if you look, I lived in Kakako for a while. It's like, I mean, just grew up in Wapalo. I think my parents paid, they paid 28,000.
Back in the day, right?
And they're like my sister and them have a big plot. Like my parents' plot is maybe like 7,000. I think theirs is it's a called that. I think it's like 13,000. Pretty big plot, but it's like it's worth like maybe $1 million or whatever, and they didn't pay that. It's just,
Right.
but I mean, even out there, everything's so expensive. I would never think I'd have $1.2 million houses in Ever Beach or whatever like that. Yeah, that was how Bush when I grew up. It's like
Even in the west side,
Yeah.
the west side is Waianae is probably the cheapest on the island.
Yeah.
I mean, besides condos and
right.
studios, 3 to 600,000 right in this area.
Yeah, I have clients that bought like a 510 square foot studio for like 480 way back in the day. Like, I said, what are you gonna do with that? It's just
And
maintenance.
and maintenance fees,
Yeah.
HOA dues, right? That don't go down. It just keeps going up. Yeah, it's like
I have a client. They said their maintenance fee. I don't want to say the building. I think it's 4,800. Can you imagine?
Wow.
And I was telling my son, he's like, "What do you mean, Dad?" I go, so I explained because he's still young, right?
Right.
We've been talking about money a lot for the last couple of years because I wanted to invest. I said, that's not his rent or his mortgage. That's his maintenance fee. He's like, what? So this is what he gets, even though he doesn't use it. So that's more than most people pay for a mortgage.
right.
So if the mortgage, So we're looking at, 9,000.
It's insane,
Yeah.
right? Like, and then what do they get? Swimming pool, electric, telephone,
Which he never
like-
uses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
bananas. Price out of paradise, yeah.
Price out of
Yeah,
paradise
yeah.
for real if you go
Yeah.
in that route, So, but yeah, I mean, I really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Yeah.
Right? Again, we want to share how they can find you, so that we can, keep watching what you do, man.
Yeah, I mean, every day on my Instagram, Everyday Better Hawaii, and I always try to do a thought of the day and just share positive stuff and where I'm going to be and what I'm doing. And yeah, I mean, it's been a great platform because I'm trying to use it for positivity. I tell people Everyday Better is a mantra, it's a motto, it's a mindset, it's a brand, but more than that, it's because it's a clothing brand. It's a vehicle I really want to start a movement.
Right.
And not to be perfect, but just to be better in your spiritual life, your fiscal, financial life, your relationship, your education. You can always be better in life. And if you have a junk day, the next day is an opportunity to be better.
Right.
Yeah, so it's applicable to any aspect of life. It started out in a fitness thing, but more I mean, especially mental health too. People are stuck on their phone and they're in a rut. And mentally, if your head doesn't work, your body's not going to follow. And your money's not going to follow either. So head got to be right first. Yeah.
So give us one of your everyday things then with our audience.
One of my favorites is obstacles always provide opportunities.
Nice.
So people, they're afraid of obstacles. Obstacles like a big wall. So you can sit in front of the wall and complain and cry and blame everybody else and not be accountable.
Right.
Or you can find a way to get around the wall. Or for me, you can find a way to bust through the wall.
Right.
So you're provided opportunities in life to win or lose or work harder or give up. And then once you bust through the wall, there's probably going to be another wall. And then, but you've created experiences, which has created character, which makes you tougher to get through every other thing. And then when you get to the mountain, it's amazing. Yeah.
Right on.
Obstacles always provide opportunities. It's up to us to take advantage of them. Yeah.
Nice, man. Thank you. So, my one would be like, take action.
Yeah.
Right? Don't make excuses. Don't blame. The choices you make,
Yeah.
right, today will determine your tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, just get out there and take action and do what you love doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, on a positive way, right? Um, but yeah, we appreciate you coming on the show, and
Yeah.
hope that all of you enjoyed the show. We mahalo you again for
Yeah.
watching Puka Pockets.
And when I have mine, you can be a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put you.
I'll
Yeah.
come. I'll
Yeah.
come support my brother.
For sure. Yeah.
And you know, check brother out. Every day better, and yeah, let's live every day better.
Right
Come on.
on. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, right
Love you,
on,
bro.
brother. Love you too, brother.
Hey, my locals, if you enjoyed this episode and you got a lot out of it, man, check this out. We got more platforms for you to follow, which is Puka Pockets, and we'll see you on the journey. Aloha.